Epithelial tissues, just the basics. We have simple squamous. Simple means there's one layer, and squamous is talking about its shape. Simple squamous are thin and flat, so that we can do quick diffusion, things passing through them. Not really any, just a little tiny bit of protection, basically just dividing one type of cells from another. But not really that much. They are these thin things along the edges right here. And this is a picture of a tiny vein. They're thin so that blood can can pass nutrients through and back really quickly because they're not very thin. If they were really big, it would take a really long time for nutrients to get through. They're small so that they're thin so that nutrients can go through really quickly. Thin and flat for quick diffusion. Simple squamous. Simple cuboidal are one layer of cube-shaped cells. They absorb, they take up things, and they secrete. They let things out. They absorb things inside of themselves, then secrete things back out. They line glands and ducts. So our sweat glands and sebaceous glands and the ducts that take them to the surface of the skin are lined by cuboidal cells. Simple columnar are one layer of column-shaped cells. They're long columns so they can do heavy-duty absorption and secretion. I need columnar cells if I'm going to absorb things or secrete a lot of things. Stratified squamous is stratified, so it's layered, and it's squamous cells, so it's layers of the thin and flat cells. And this is for heavy-duty protection. So like on the surface of our skin, stratum corneum and the epidermis, these layers and layers and layers of thin cells provide protection because each little layer gets attacked or destroyed. There's more thin cells underneath that can protect it. Stratified cuboidal is layers of cuboidal cells. It's just an extra layer, not really any change from cuboidal. Just an extra layer for more production, more support. Pseudostratified columnar is fake columnar cells. It looks like there's layers here, but there's actually only one. Sorry, there's columns. There's columns of cells, and they all touch the bottom and the top. They do the same thing, absorption and secretion, but they've got these hairs on them, and the hairs are going to pass food or other things, molecules, along the cilia. So they are fake cells. They're fake layers. They're same thing as columnar. They absorb and secrete. Transitional is like in the bladder. They're going to change shape from uncompressed or not squished to squished. So they can be flat or they can be round. If this is the bladder and we've got fluid in here, as we drink more water, gulp, 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 our cells are going to get squished down. So the transitional cells can get squished down and change their shape so that we have more space up here for more water. And then after we urinate and it goes out, the cells can re-expand into the space. Sometimes cells will switch positions because they need new epithelial cells will change, or different types of epithelial cells will grow because we need to change the function. So let's say I'm in my throat right here, and I have these columnar cells, and they get attacked or damaged, and my throat becomes a place where I need tons of protection. Well, if I think about what cell I can use for tons of protection, I'm going to pick stratified squamous cells. So you might find that next to these columnar cells in an area where it got hurt or damaged, I'll start getting stratified squamous because I want protection, and the columnar cells don't do protection. They do absorption and secretion. Or maybe I'm in an area where I have these simple squamous cells, but for some reason I need to start secreting a juice or a liquid. That's what needs to happen in this area, because maybe the juice or liquid helps lubricate and keep it from getting rubbed wrong. So I'm going to switch squamous cells with columnar, because the columnar can do secretion, but the squamous can't. And I would want the columnar to secrete this liquid if I need it. So it can change. Cells can change from one type to another depending on what I need.